Hey everybody, Damn Good Average Bowler back with you for another segment of Pro Shop Explanations, and today's segment involves the process of laying out a bowling ball, so let's get right to it. Starting out the process here, we're going to use this hammer Pure Envy. There's 3 marks on the ball. This is the pin, this is the CG, also known as the center of gravity, and this is the mass bias. When it comes to influencing ball motion, the mass bias, we have 3 quadrants. I'm going to show you guys what those quadrants are right now, okay? So after drawing the line from the pin to the mass bias, 0 to 45 is one quadrant, 45 to 75 is the second quadrant, and 75 out is the third quadrant. So I'm going to draw these lines for you right here. Okay. All right, so we have our 3 quadrants for the mass bias, okay? 0 to 45. This is going to promote strong early roll. SER, strong early roll. The second quadrant is 45 degrees to 75 degrees. This is also known as intermediate. A lot of layouts go with intermediate when it comes to mass biases, especially if you're just bowling on your recreational house shots. And then the last one is 75 and beyond. This is going to promote late roll down lane. So 3 quadrants to review: 0 to 45, strong early roll; 45 to 75 is the intermediate, and 75 on is late roll. So you got to pick which of these 3 quadrants you want your mass bias in. If you're a low rev player, you're probably going to have your mass bias in this area right here, because you need the cover to start revving up for you and need it to start reacting as soon as possible because of your lower rev rate. If you're a little bit more balanced, like me for instance, I usually go in between 45 and 75. You can go on the stronger side of intermediate, or you can get closer to 75, which is the weaker side of intermediate. And then if you're a high rev player, basically 75 out is for you, because you rip the cover off the ball, so you don't really need the cover stock helping you as much because your rev rate's already high as it is. So 75 out is probably going to be what we would recommend for you as far as what degree you want to put your mass bias in. For the next part of this process, we're going to figure out where we want our pin relative to where our positive axis point is. And again, as the mass bias I explained is in 3 quadrants, this is also in 3 quadrants. So we're going to show you right here. So 0 to 3 3/8. We got 3 3/8 to 5, and then we have 5 out. So we have 0 to 3 3/8, strong early roll. 3 3/8 to 5 is intermediate, and 5 out is late roll. So 0 to 3 3/8, strong early roll. 3 3/8 to 5 is intermediate, and then 5 inches out is late. So you guys can kind of put where the correlation goes as far as like mass bias position and pin placement positioning. So 0 to 3 3/8, you guys already should know that 3 3/8 is the strongest pin position on any bowling ball. As far as like you want to see the maximum allowed, 3 3/8 is your number. Usually though, intermediate is the way to go between 3 3/8 and 5. Like I said, if you want it to roll really early, you kind of get on the strong side of intermediate. If you want it to roll late, but you still want it to still be kind of strong, you go on the later side of intermediate. And again, late roll, 5 out. 5 out is usually going to be for your high rev players. Intermediate is going to be for your balanced players. And your early roll is going to be for your lower rev players. The next part of this segment is going to entail laying out with the same layout with 2 different positive axis point coordinates. We're going to use the example of 60 by 5 by 60. And what that is, the first number is our position of the mass bias. 5 is 5 inches from pin to positive axis point. And our last one, which is the bowling world method, is the pin height. Some people are talking about how, no, that's not dual angle. No, it's not. This is the bowling world layout method that I was taught. And that's what we're going to use as the example here. The two positive access points we're going to use on one layout is going to be 5 by 1/2 up. On the second one, it's going to be 3 inches over by 1/2 inch down. All right, we're laying it out. 60 by 5 by 60, positive access point with 5 inches over by 1/2 inch up. Okay, so there you go. That layout is 60 by 5 by 60 with a positive access point of 5 over by 1/2 inch up. We're going with the same layout, but this time we're going to do with a positive access point of 3 inches over by 1/2 inch down. And there's the layout for an access point of 3 inches over by 1/2 inch down with the same numbers of the layout of 60 by 5 by 60. You can kind of see that the pin placement is still relatively similar. The CG is a little more to the left, mass bias is to the left, and that is why it's so critical that your Pro Shop operator finds what your positive access point is. Thank you guys for joining me in another segment of Pro Shop Explanations. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the TikTok channel. And I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day.